on with Bitten, I just read the books and didn't really know much about it, and talked to the producers. I knew that they wanted it to be more Sopranos and True Blood and dark, and more adult. And I hadn't done a lot of really adult stuff and gritty, more feature film looking indie TV shows. Smallville was very glossy and people knew what to expect from the storyline, and it was very planned out. Bitten, we have more leeway to play with the plot and to be more open and vulnerable with the characters, both physically and emotionally, and that's what drew me to the show. And then also, once I found out who the cast was and we all fell in love with each other, it's just been like an amazing ride.
You know what, when I sort of first was approached about the character, there's a gravity about him, and the way he tries to sort of balance being this leader and the strength to, deal harshly and violently with the threats against the family, but there's also a sensitivity and there's a tenderness that comes up particularly through the Elena character and my relationship with her. That there's a soft spot, sort of like a father with a daughter, that surprises me and surprises the character in a lot of ways. So it was a really great group of people to work with, and the action ratchets up every week. Very sexy, very ambitious project.
It's been great. I'm from Vancouver, so it was cool to discover the city, Toronto, and we also filmed quite a bit out in Hamilton, Hespeler, Cambridge, which was beautiful. Our set for Stonehaven it's not a set, it's an actual mansion out in Cambridge.
Crazy cast.
Incredible. So it's been cool to just discover the area, the Toronto area, and our sets in Toronto are outstanding. And when you watch the show, you're going to see it. It has a presence of itself. So it's going good.
Toronto, I love Toronto. I'm from Halifax originally. I've been living here for 3 years, and I initially auditioned for the show in LA when I was down there for a couple of months. You never know if you do book a show where you're going to end up filming it. It could be somewhere like Sri Lanka, which is exotic and nice and crazy. But this being my first series, it was really nice to be home and to have people that I could talk to that aren't involved in this sort of thing. So it was a nice contrast to have. I'm very lucky to be shooting here in Toronto.
Yeah, I shot a lot of my stuff in Hamilton. That's where Logan's house is at. So it was nice. It's really cool to think that we've done this show after 5 months, and I'm spending all this time going down back and forth to Hamilton, and I don't know, the next time I will actually travel out that way. Probably go back in season 2. But it's always nice to have
Hamilton's
experiences where you go to like places that you otherwise wouldn't be spending too much time.
That's the thing. Yeah, you never go to these places probably, but you get to go to
Hespeler.
Ontario.
Never heard of Hespeler.
Where Wayne Gretzky played it was the first hockey team that Wayne Gretzky ever played for.
Oh yeah?
What? Novice, Hespeler, Ontario, yeah. He played for the Hespeler Arrows.
So these are historic sites that we're shooting at. It's great.
You're making history.
Absolutely, yeah. You have the source material, and that's very important. So I read the backstory, I read Men of the Other World. But then if you don't work for me, if you don't work from yourself as an actor, if you don't put yourself emotionally at risk, there's nothing there. I mean, that's all I have to work with. So it was a process of becoming that character, and it's my flesh on those bones. So there's definitely elements of Greg Bryk in the character, but there's elements of Jeremy and Greg Bryk now, and I think it's helped me become a better father in a lot of ways. And you get to a point in your life where you're deciding what it means to be a man for yourself, what it means to be a father, what it means to be a leader in your community, on your set, in your household. And it's been a really interesting journey, and I've learned things and hopefully taught things as well.
Man, I got really comfortable with. I wear this as a sock basically that you put over your Franken beans, and so I got to run around set naked quite a bit. That's been fantastic. I'm a bit of a nudist myself, so
my best memory of Greyston and the sock. We were doing a scene one time, and he walks in. I don't know. You just came back from a run.
Yeah.
And I think it was on my close-up. So he walks in with the close-up and he's like,
I did the mangina.
himself.
I did I tucked it all back, and I just kind of walked in like this,
So
and it was on his coverage. It was like, you held it together.
You can't break, you know, it's sort of just like kind of have a conversation, try not to look right here. You know what I mean?
And the lack
pulled it off.
The lack of,
I did, I nailed it.
Didn't even flinch. I was like, oh. Anyway, but yeah, that's one.
I'm sure the camera guys love seeing my bald chest behind me.
What's going to happen is you're going to be drawn into a world immediately. I think the characters are very vividly drawn. They're fully fleshed out by the actors. So we start with the tension existing between Elena and her world in the city, her draw of the pack, the passion she feels for Clay, the responsibility she feels to me as her alpha, but her relationship with Philip in the city. So we start with this real tension. Almost before an earthquake, you feel the first tremors. That's what happens in the season. And we establish the worlds. There's a splash of violence and sex, and we're on the hunt.
The book is definitely a huge part of why we're here and what the show is about. But we, again, have really gone beyond what you've read, and some of the characters that are killed off are staying. So we're sort of, there's some leeway, and I think these amazing actors that we have on the show really brought the characters to life and off the page. People who love the books will get what they want and more.
There's really something for everybody on the show. I mean, they can expect action, romance, sex, gore, violence. It's really cool. I mean, it's whatever you want to find in that show. So attractive men, asses,
and a lot of very dramatic character curves.
You ever show your ass? Do you show your ass?
Yeah.
Sweet. So we show our asses.
I had to do the scene where I'm supposed
Probably
to be
for
like,
the best.
I'm covered in blood. They tell me 2 weeks before I shoot the scene, like, you're gonna be naked. I should, maybe hit the gym a little bit. So I'm in the gym and I'm feeling really good. I get on set and they're shooting from the back, right up my butt, and I run off. So I mean,
listen,
can
these
expect that.
opportunities for you to see how we interact with each other are very important.
Let me know how my butt is.
That radiates on screen. So you're gonna fall in love with our characters, I guarantee it. So.